The cameras flashed, the red carpet at the Egyptian theater, it just glowed under that heavy Hollywood night sky. A hand rested gently, almost too gently, on a tailored suit arm. The crowd completely froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession.
It really is wild how fast a single moment like that can just, take over everything.
Right. Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame. And today, we are staring down a massive stack of sources for this deep dive.
Oh, we really are. It's a lot to get through today.
Yeah, we've got the breathless, completely unsourced gossip from OK Magazine and Do More. We have the clinical frame-by-frame analysis from body language experts over at the Daily Mail.
Right, the real forensic stuff.
Exactly. Plus, we're looking at direct, noticeably uncomfortable TV interviews from the Today Show and Nightline. And all of this material is circling one burning viral headline. Did Jennifer Lopez secretly date Brett Goldstein?
It's the single question that has essentially hijacked the entertainment news cycle for the past few months. It turned every red carpet appearance into a total public investigation.
So our mission today is to figure out the actual timeline of this rumored romance. We need to explore how Hollywood showmances deliberately blur the lines between reality and PR.
Which they do so well.
They really do. And ultimately, we want to discover what J.Lo's latest era tells us about fame, the necessity of boundaries, and taking back control of your own narrative in a world that constantly tries to, write it for you.
It serves as a brilliant case study because what we're really looking at here is the exact intersection of modern fan culture, perfectly timed psychological marketing, and a very public, very intentional personal reinvention.
Definitely. And hey, if you are loving these Hollywood twists and want to understand the hidden machinery of pop culture, make sure you are subscribed to our deep dives. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
We really do. So where do we even start with this one?
Well, to understand how the internet became so deeply convinced that these two were a real couple, we have to look at the origins of their upcoming Netflix film.
Right, Office Romance.
Yeah, Office Romance, which drops on June 5, 2026. This was not, it wasn't just a standard script floating around Hollywood agencies that happened to land on her desk.
No, not at all.
It was, for all intents and purposes, manifested by a self-proclaimed superfan.
That is the craziest part to me.
I know. So Brett Goldstein, who obviously everyone knows from Ted Lasso, and his co-writer Joe Kelly, they were on a train ride from Manchester to London.
Just a classic brainstorming session on a train.
Right. They were brainstorming an old-school romantic comedy, and they asked themselves who the ultimate, absolute best rom-com lead would be. So they created what they call a list of one.
A list of one, which is
just Jennifer Lopez, nobody else.
The sheer audacity of that approach is worth pausing on, I think, because they did not write a generic narrative and then shop it around to various studios hoping to attach a lead later,
Yeah, they didn't just cast a wide net.
Yeah, exactly. They tailored the entire narrative architecture around one specific star's established persona. They literally reverse-engineered a movie for Jennifer Lopez.
And the way Brett recruited her is completely unhinged in the best possible way.
Oh, the email, yes.
Yeah. He sent the script to her with an email that basically included a mock death threat.
Which is such a bold choice.
Right. Joking that if she did not do the movie, he would kill her. It's an incredibly bold networking strategy.
Definitely a risk.
But according to a YouTube source breaking down their press tour, she actually thought Brett was faking his fandom at first.
Well, yeah.
She assumed it was just typical Hollywood flattery designed to get a signature on a contract.
Which is a completely rational, highly evolved defense mechanism for someone of her stature.
Oh, totally.
Celebrities at that level, they are constantly bombarded with exaggerated transactional praise. People will claim to be your biggest fan simply to gain access to your capital or your audience or whatever. Her instinct to doubt his sincerity is just a byproduct of surviving 3 decades in the industry.
But then he actually proved it. He revealed he had watched basically all of her movies, followed her career for years, and even kept up with her music, her print interviews, her podcast appearances.
He got the receipts.
He really did. He knew the deep, obscure lore that only a genuine fan would know. So she signs on. She plays Jackie Cruz, who is a workaholic airline CEO with a strict anti-fraternization policy.
Very classic rom-com setup.
Exactly. Her highly controlled, airtight life is completely derailed by a new lawyer, Daniel Blanchflower, played by Brett. And just as a quick side note for the nostalgia fans, the movie also reunites her with Edward James Olmos.
Oh, I love that detail.
Right. He plays her father, 28 years after they starred together in the iconic film Selena.
It is a meticulously crafted setup. I mean, it hits the nostalgia beats, it plays into the classic enemies to lovers trope, and it leverages her legacy perfectly.
I am struggling to buy that this is just a heartwarming networking success story, though.
Really?
Why? It feels a bit like a fan fiction writer who writes a story, hits publish on the internet, and somehow magically gets the actual celebrity to show up at their door to star in it in real life.
That is a perfect analogy, actually.
Like, does this intense, documented superfan energy lay the exact groundwork for why the public so desperately wanted them to be a real couple?
Yeah.
Did we just project this romance because we love the idea of a fan winning the lottery?
You are hitting on the exact psychological mechanism at play there. When you start a professional relationship with such intense, highly publicized admiration,
It sets the stage.
it perfectly primes the public to look for romantic sparks. The narrative of the devoted fan who finally gets the girl is incredibly potent in our culture. The audience already knows he adores her because he has stated it publicly, repeatedly.
Right, it's not a secret.
Exactly. So when they finally share a screen, the viewers are already wearing rose-colored glasses. They aren't just watching two actors hit their marks on a soundstage. They are watching a documented dream come true.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That psychological priming makes every shared glance, every laugh during a press junket, seem loaded with underlying romantic potential. The audience is essentially conditioned to ship them before the first trailer even drops.
So we were practically programmed to see a romance.
Yes, absolutely.
But wait till you hear about the ultra-private island sightings that had the internet losing its mind. Because the transition from superfan to secret lover happened fast.
The velocity of the gossip was remarkable, even by Hollywood standards.
Right. The rumors just absolutely exploded at the 2026 Golden Globes in January.
The backstage photos.
Yeah, we get these backstage photos of her placing her hand on his arm, both of them grinning. Then, during an episode of Watch What Happens Live, she casually drops that he is the best kisser she has ever worked with.
Which is quite the statement.
And boom, the gossip columns are off to the races. Let's look at what the gossip was actually saying, because it gets incredibly specific.
It always does.
We have a Dumois blind item claiming the two were spotted at the ultra-private Cayo Levantado Resort in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow.
An eyewitness claimed they were canoodling, kissing throughout their stay, dining together every night, and even slipping away from the wrap party to spend time alone in a cabana.
It is important to understand the function of a blind item in the PR ecosystem, though.
Right, because it's not verified.
A blind item is essentially untraceable PR currency. It allows rumors to circulate and test the public's reaction without anyone having to go on the record or face libel charges.
So it could just be completely made up.
Whether that tip came from a genuine eyewitness, a rogue production assistant, or was strategically leaked by a marketing team to generate buzz, the result is the same. It builds a narrative infrastructure for the movie.
And the mainstream tabloids just ran with that infrastructure.
Okay.
Magazine published quotes from an insider claiming that between takes on set, it was a total flirt fest.
Oh, flirt fest, of course.
This insider went so far as to call him the younger, smarter British version of Ben Affleck,
Oh, that is so calculated.
adding that Brett fawns all over her, which is, quote, exactly what she needs right now.
Those are incredibly loaded, highly engineered statements.
Yeah.
They tap directly into the classic rebound narrative,
Society loves a rebound story.
especially for a high-profile woman. It contrasts the new, attentive, unproblematic suitor with the recent, complicated ex-husband. It sells a story of immediate redemption and rescue.
And if we flip the coin and look at the actual physical evidence, the story changes entirely.
The body language analysis.
Yeah, the Daily Mail brought in body language expert Judy James to analyze their interactions at that Egyptian theater red carpet premiere. And her take is the complete opposite of the OK Magazine Flirt Fest narrative.
What did she say?
She called their interaction a sizzle-free zone.
Ouch, a sizzle-free zone.
I know. She pointed out that while they posed like a traditional bride and groom with her hand hooked into his arm, there were underlying subconscious cues of a total lack of romantic bonding.
The specifics of body language analysis can be quite revealing, especially when actors are actively performing for a wall of photographers.
Right, because Judy James noted that she used a very specific blocking signal. When they turned to face each other, looking deeply into each other's eyes for the cameras, she placed her hand flat on his lower chest.
Oh. The hand on the chest.
According to the expert, that's a move to maintain spatial distance. It looks intimate to the camera lens, but physically, it's a barrier keeping him away.
That makes a lot of sense.
Think about how you might subtly place a purse or a drink between yourself and someone who is standing just a little too close at a party. It's the same principle, just broadcast to millions of people.
A physical boundary disguised as affection.
But I have to push back here. If her ultimate goal is to establish her independence, why entertain the red carpet touching at all? Why drop the best kisser soundbite? I'm struggling to buy that this is just organic chemistry being misinterpreted. Aren't PR teams deliberately engineering this ambiguity to sell movies?
Your skepticism is entirely warranted. It is almost certainly a strategic blend of both organic friendliness and highly engineered marketing.
So it's a showmance.
Yes, but this raises a crucial point about the mechanics of a Hollywood showmance. A showmance in the modern era isn't necessarily a completely fake, contracted relationship where two people pretend to be in love.
Right, it's not like the old studio system.
Exactly. Often it is merely the weaponization of ambiguity. PR teams do not need to fake a romance, they just need to ensure the stars do not deny it right away.
Ah, that's it.
They provide just enough tactile interactions on red carpets, a hand on the chest, a lingering look to keep the tabloids guessing and the fans analyzing.
They basically give the internet just enough breadcrumbs to bake a whole cake.
Precisely, and look at the timing and the context here. You have two individuals who are effectively the perfect blank canvas for public projection. He has reportedly been single since 2022.
And she just finalized her highly publicized divorce from Ben Affleck in February 2025.
Right. So the marketing strategy for a romantic comedy relies fundamentally on the audience buying into the chemistry of the leads. If that chemistry seemingly bleeds into real life, you don't just have movie fans buying tickets.
You have the gossip consumers.
You have gossip consumers clicking articles, analyzing red carpet photos, and tuning in to late-night interviews. It is free, self-sustaining, viral marketing.
So that blocking hand on the chest is actually a masterclass in PR defense. It gives the cameras a beautiful, intimate photo to plaster across the internet, but it protects her actual personal space and emotional boundaries.
It really is brilliant.
But the problem with giving the media an inch of ambiguity is that they will eventually demand a mile of truth. The pressure cooker finally snapped on live television.
The pivot from playful, profitable ambiguity to firm, unyielding boundary setting is really the crux of this entire story, because the ambiguity strategy always has a breaking point.
And later in this deep dive, we'll talk about the shockingly blunt moment J.Lo finally confronted a TV host who simply wouldn't take no for an answer.
That moment was something else.
It really was. And that breaking point happened on June 2 during a Today Show interview. Savannah Guthrie is interviewing them, and she physically corners them by playing the clip of the best kisser comment.
Just playing it right to their faces.
Yeah. Savannah presses them, asking directly if the rumors are real, if they're actually dating. Right. And you can see the shift. The playful PR shield just completely drops.
You could feel the tension through the screen.
She shoots it down, clearly frustrated. She says, and I quote, "There's never a time where I am seen with somebody or working with somebody where they don't try to put me with the person."
She was not having it.
No. She even joked that she was linked to Kevin Costner this year, just because they occupy the same industry.
Her frustration in that moment really highlights the exhaustion of constantly being framed through the lens of romantic availability.
Yeah, it has to be exhausting.
And his response was equally definitive, shutting down any lingering hope for those superfans.
Right, because when Savannah pushed one last time, saying, "So you're not dating then," she simply said, "Not dating."
Yeah.
And he chimed in with a very polite but brutally final correct.
The door was slammed shut.
Fully shut. But to really understand why she slammed that door so firmly, instead of just letting the PR showmance ride out through the opening weekend of the movie like most stars would, we have to look at the broader context of her real life right now.
This is where the narrative elevates from standard celebrity gossip into a genuine, compelling study in personal boundaries and self-preservation.
We dug into a Nightline interview she did with Juju Chang. Juju asks her point blank if she is dating up a storm. Her response is incredibly raw and stripped of any Hollywood gloss.
It was very striking.
She says no, God forbid, she doesn't want to ruin anything. She explains that after the divorce, her life felt like it exploded. Everything she knew shifted. So what'd she do? She took a year off?
A full year?
She literally canceled her This Is Me Live summer tour, which is a massive financial and professional decision.
Oh, absolutely massive.
She said she had to sit in what had happened without running away from it, through work, through another person, through anything. She is officially declaring herself to be in her happy era, admitting that she used to be terrified of being alone.
Wow.
But now, for the first time since she was in her early 20s, she is actively embracing her independence.
That is a profound, incredibly vulnerable admission for someone whose romantic life has been the subject of relentless global consumption for 3 decades.
Totally.
She is acknowledging her own past patterns of using work or new relationships to bypass the discomfort of grief.
And the details of this transition are so symbolic. We learned from the sources that she recently covered up her Ben Affleck infinity tattoo, which famously had their names woven through it, with a hummingbird.
That's a huge step.
And ironically, during the darkest part of this personal turmoil, she was surviving by throwing herself into art, specifically filming Kiss of the Spider-Woman, a film that was actually produced by Ben Affleck himself.
The sheer emotional compartmentalization that requires is staggering.
It really is.
Yeah.
So connecting all of this back to the viral rumors, why was it so vital that she shut down the Brett Goldstein narrative on national television?
Well, what is truly fascinating here is the distinct parallel between her art and her life. Think about the character she's playing in Office Romance.
Jackie Cruz.
Right. Jackie Cruz is a CEO who avoids distractions and maintains incredibly strict, impenetrable boundaries. That on-screen persona directly mirrors her current real-life evolution.
Oh, that's such a good point.
For her entire career, her public narrative has often been defined by who she is standing next to. The public, the media, the paparazzi, they all expect her to seamlessly transition from one high-profile relationship to the next just to keep the content machine churning.
It is the classic J.Lo rebound narrative that the media industrial complex demands. They essentially want a sequel to the divorce.
Exactly. The media demands a resolution to her pain in the form of a new man. But by firmly, unequivocally shutting down those rumors on national television, she is actively refusing to perform the role the public has written for her.
She's just done with it.
She is reclaiming her narrative. Instead of allowing a new, shiny, highly marketable showmance to distract the public from the reality of her divorce, she is forcing the world to look at her as a singular, independent entity.
Yes.
She is effectively saying, I do not need the distraction of a new relationship, and I will not allow you to invent one for my life. It is a powerful assertion of autonomy from a woman who has finally decided that her own company is enough.
It is like she is finally comfortable being the only name on the marquee of her own life, without needing a co-star to validate her worth.
I love how you phrase that.
Thanks. And hey, if you are fascinated by how the stars manage their public image, navigate the PR machine, and ultimately reclaim their stories, make sure to hit subscribe so you do not miss our next deep dive.
It serves as a vital reminder that the most compelling story a public figure can tell is often the one where they refuse to play the game, setting boundaries that disrupt the expectations of their audience.
We started this journey on a train ride from Manchester to London, where a superfan manifested a script for his ultimate Hollywood crush. We watched that documented professional admiration get tossed into the viral internet rumor mill, fueled by calculated red carpet hand placement, cheeky interview fanbites, and untraceable blind items about secret island cabanas.
The full Hollywood cycle.
But ultimately, we arrived at a much deeper story about a woman firmly establishing her independence in an industry that profits off her personal life. And, there's a real tangible lesson in this for all of us.
There really is.
Just like her, it is absolutely okay to set hard boundaries in your own life. It is okay to take a year off to sit with yourself, to cover up the old tattoos, and to just be alone, especially when everyone around you expects you to jump right into the next big thing, the next relationship, or the next career move.
It is a profoundly courageous act to sit in the discomfort of stillness, rather than rushing toward the false comfort of a distraction. And it leaves us with something critical to ponder.
What's that?
If our culture is so deeply obsessed with romantic endings that we reflexively project them onto two actors simply standing next to each other on a red carpet, what does that say about our own profound discomfort with the idea that someone, especially a famous, successful woman, can be truly happily single?
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.